Page number 159, section 4. Now we do section 4. Rest of it you can do on your own. I will send you the audio. Okay, and I will send you this book also. There are very good 8 listening practice tests. So this week you are going to take these 8 tests. After the class I will share this book and I'll share the audios and you can just do it. I mean, you can do 1 test a day, and whenever you take a listening test, okay, I'll give you instructions at the end how to take a listening test. Okay, now section 4, complete the sentences below. Write no more than 2 words and or a number. No more than 2 words. Okay, but at present in section 4 we've got 1 word only. Right, at present we've got, but you know, sometimes they play old tests also. So if there is an old test, it can be anything. Ceramics. Do you know ceramics? Have you seen the wash basins? They are made of ceramics. Okay, so that material, that thing. Ceramics. Question number 31. Ceramics date back. Now listen, whenever they use the word date back in IELTS reading or IELTS listening, date back means number of years ago. Date back means ago, a time in the past, right? Approximately. For approximately, they may use the word nearly, around. So, ceramics date back approximately dash means number of years. Clear? Now, in the audio, they will say, well, as far as the ceramics are concerned, they were created 2000 years ago. Or ceramics are 2000 years old. 2000 years ago, 2000 years old. So that will be the answer. Okay, whatever. Now please listen and then you got to decide. And the question is, ceramics date back. Date back means number of years in the past.
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the origins of ceramics. So first of all, let's start off with, what is a ceramic? Well, generally speaking, ceramics are what you get when you apply heat to certain inorganic, non-metallic solids and then allow them to cool. And examples of ceramics are everyday things like earthenware pots, crockery, glassware, and even concrete. So how did it all begin? Well, it all started around 29,000 years ago, when humans discovered that if you dig up some soft clay from the ground, mold it into a shape, and then heat it up to a very high temperature, when it cools, the clay has been transformed into something hard and rigid.
So, exactly 29,000 years, and you will write 29000. 29,000 years, number. Yeah, years is must, exactly. 29,000 years. 29000 and then years. Okay, question number 32. The first figurines were made in the area of, listen, if, any question? 29 Urdu mein? Okay, yeah, listen, you can write because it's no more than 2 words. So you can write 29, THOUSAND, 1000 and then years. Years is must, yeah, without years your answer is wrong. Okay, yeah. You know, numbers, 3 things you always enjoy or 3 things you can always say in your native language. The first is ginti. The other day I asked some of my students to read and one said, Pakistan came into being on 14 August and 1947. See that number. Second is Ghana, song. You enjoy songs in your native language more. And third is Gali. Okay, so 3 gaffs, Ginti, Ghana, Gali, you enjoy in your mother tongue. Okay. Question number 32. The first figurines, even if you don't know what is figurine, that doesn't matter. By the way, figurine is a statue. It's a small statue, okay? The first figurine were made in the area of. The answer is a location. And they will tell you in the area of. Now listen, it can be a city, it can be a country, or it can be a continent. City, country, or continent. It can. They might say that in South America, in South Asia, whatever, right? Now please listen and decide what is the answer.
And so what did those first humans do with their discovery? Well, they created figurines, which were small statues and which depicted animals or gods or any shape that the clay could be moulded into. And all this activity was centered around southern Europe, where there is also evidence of ceramics that were created much later.
All this activity was centered around southern Europe. Now, if you only write Europe, your answer is wrong. If you only write southern, then your answer is wrong. So it should be southern Europe. South Europe, yes, you can. Exactly, they've given this option. No, spelling mistakes are okay. You can spell cat as C-A-T cat or K-A-T cat. They don't mind. You can spell color British or American, C-O-L-O-R color or C-O-L-O-U-R color, or Pakistani spelling K-O-L-O-U-R color. Clear? Yeah, you can write Europe with U-R-O-P-E. Listen carefully. Spelling mistake is counted seriously in IELTS listening and reading. And because of spelling, your right answer will be wrong. If you write wrong spelling of southern, right, so your answer will be wrong. EU, no, you cannot write EU. EU is European Union. That is not Europe. Why don't you learn spelling, huh? Okay, I'll share a handout in the group, and that handout has got only 4 pages. These 4 pages contain the words which are most common words as the answers of IELTS listening. Go through that handout, learn all the spelling, and then there you are. Okay, no problem. Let's move on, please. Question number 33. Early humans could not use their pots to store. Now something they could not use their pots to store. It could be some sort of liquid or anything like that. Okay, now please listen and see what is it that they could not store.
The early humans also found a practical use for their discovery, such as storing things like grain, although there were drawbacks. The pots were porous, so that although they could carry water in them, it wasn't possible to store it over a long period. And also they were quite brittle and shattered very easily if they were dropped.
Exactly. And for water they use the word it. Right? This is what we call referencing. They speak the word first and then they use it. Listen again, please.
The early humans also found a practical use for their discovery, such as storing things like grain, although there were drawbacks. The pots were porous, so that although they could carry water in them, it wasn't possible to store it over...
It wasn't possible to store it. It means water, exactly. Alright, let's do one more. Question number 34. The Chinese improved the quality of ceramics by mixing dash with clay. They mixed something in the clay and then the quality of ceramics improved. What is it that they mixed? That will be your answer.
But despite these problems, it was many thousands of years before there were any improvements. In China, at around 200 BC, they discovered that by adding minerals to the clay, they could improve both the appearance and the strength of the ceramics.
Exactly, minerals, that's right, very good. Okay, question number 35. Chinese porcelain was also called, second name of Chinese porcelain. For called, they can use the word it was also named as, or people commonly called it like that.
But it took nearly 1,000 years before they perfected the process to produce high-quality ceramics known as porcelain. And once they had perfected the process, they kept it a secret for another 1,000 years. Compared to the first ceramics, porcelain was lighter, finer, harder, and whiter, and became an important commodity in China's trading with the rest of the world for hundreds of years. In fact, it became so valuable that it was known as white gold, and spies were sent to China to discover what they did to the clay to produce such high-quality merchandise.
Known as and called white gold. Understand now? Known as and called. Okay, question number 36. Botger added quartz. Now, if you don't know what is quartz, that doesn't matter. Botger added quartz and dash to clay. He added two things. One is quartz. With quartz, there will be the answer. Quartz and dash to clay to make porcelain. Now, please listen.
It wasn't until the 18th century that the secret began to unravel. A German alchemist called Johann Friedrich Botger was asked by the king to make gold out of lead. Unfortunately, Botger failed to achieve this and soon gave up. But in order to please the king, he attempted to make high-quality porcelain. And after many years of experimentation, he discovered that by adding quartz and a material called China stone to very high-quality clay, he managed to get the same results that the Chinese had been achieving for the last 1,000 years.
Exactly, a material called, first she said quartz, and then a material called China stone. Good job. Let's just finish it. 4 questions left. Question number 37, glass. Glass production is similar to clay ceramics apart from the rate of dash. Now the difference between glass production and clay ceramic and rate of. Now see that in both we use fire. Now they will tell you in the audio the rate of what.
We'll now look at another ceramic which is made from mixing sand with minerals and heating to over 600 degrees Celsius. When this mixture cools, the result is of course glass. The main difference between ceramics made from clay and glass is that clay is made up of crystalline plates which become locked together in the cooling process, whereas glass cools too quickly for crystals to form. Apart from that, the process of heating up naturally occurring materials to transform them is the same.
Cooling. Okay, play it again. Cools and cooling. Listen again.
We'll now look at another ceramic which is made from mixing sand with minerals and heating to over 600 degrees Celsius. When this mixture cools, the result is of course glass. The main difference between ceramics made from clay and glass is that clay is made up of crystalline plates which become locked together in the cooling process, whereas glass cools too quickly for crystals to form. Apart from
glass cools too quickly and the other cools or cooling, that will be the answer. Question number 38. The Romans introduced the use of glass to make. Now what is it that they made with glass? Romans introduced the use of glass to make.
The origins of glass date back to 3500 BC, but it wasn't until the Roman Empire 2,000 years ago that the art of glass blowing and the practical uses of glass became more widespread. One of the more innovative uses was to use it in windows, as up until then they had just been holes in walls. It must have been very drafty in those days.
Windows, very good, exactly. 39 concrete, and 39 is the discovery of concrete is probably due to observing reactions of water and dash It's another material. Water and dash. Okay.
The Romans were also responsible for inventing concrete. And although the origins are uncertain, experts think that this is largely due to the high level of volcanic activity in the area. The Romans observed that when volcanic ash mixes with water and then cools, it gets extremely hard and almost impossible to break up.
Exactly. And they use the word water later. First they said volcanic ash adds or mixes with water and all that. So volcanic ash. And how do you spell volcanic? V-O-L. Exactly. Volcanic ash. A-S-H. Question number 40. The ability to build large dash, large, huge, or any other word that describes the size. The ability to build large dash contributed to the success of the Roman Empire. Now what is it that contributed? An ability to build large. For large, they can use any other word that shows the size.
One of the most important facts about concrete for the Romans was that it can be created underwater. As the Roman Empire grew, the Romans needed to take control of the seas, and for this they needed to build harbours capable of holding a fleet of ships. Pouring concrete mixture into the sea.
Harbours. And how did they mention this word large? Please focus. I play it again. You just need to tell me that the word large hai, what is it that they used for that?
One of the most important facts about concrete for the Romans was that it can be created underwater. As the Roman Empire grew, the Romans needed to take control of the seas, and for this they needed to build harbours capable of holding a fleet of ships.
Capable of holding a fleet of ships. Fleet of ships means so many ships. So for large they use the word capable of holding a fleet of ships. Right? Like for example, if I say large container. Container is in which we put something, large container. So I use the word for that, a container that is capable of holding many liters of water. Understand? So that means large. Okay, thank you very much. That's all.